Hi, I'm Irving, and I have no life, just like you.
The Ballad of Irving. Irving. Big fat Irving. Big sport Irving. The 142nd fastest gun in the West.
At the end of the first Half-Life game, our character Gordon Freeman had taken out the psychedelic star child that was causing all the weird aliens to pop in at moments built around Murphy's Law. So, no more aliens to give us trouble, right? So what's there to do in a second game? Let's take a look.
Rise and shine, Mr. Freeman. Rise and shine. Not that I wish to imply you have been sleeping on the job. No one is more deserving of a rest, and all the effort in the world would have gone to waste until... well, let's just say your hour has come again.
Okay, I think this is the same weird guy we saw at the end of the first game, the one who offered us either a job or an impossible battle. Apparently, we took the job and then fell asleep. Waking up to that face, I really wish I had a gun because that's just scary. As we become aware of our surroundings, it looks like we're still on that strange transport where we last saw him.
I didn't see you get on. No matter how many times I've been relocated, I never get used to it.
No, we're on a public transit train? So Mr. Super Duper Tough Guy who saved the world fell asleep in a subway car? Oh crap, I'm already confused. Well, off we go.
Welcome. Welcome to City 17. You have chosen, or been chosen, to relocate to one of our finest remaining urban centers. I thought so much of City 17 that I elected to establish my administration here, in the citadel so thoughtfully provided by our benefactors. I've been proud to call City 17 my home. And so, whether you are here to stay or passing through on your way to parts unknown, welcome to City 17. It's safer here.
Thank you for that convenient bit of plot exposition. At least I guess that's what it was. City 17, one of the few remaining it's safer here. What? What the hell is going on? You might remember that in my review of the first Half-Life game, I said this.
It seemed that if you wanted to understand Half-Life 2, you definitely needed to play Half-Life 1.
Obviously, I was wrong. Playing through the first game didn't tell me a thing about what's going on here, so it was a complete waste of time, energy, and hair pulling. Maybe the box insert will give me some background and tell me how things got to whatever state they're in. Let's see. In Half-Life 2, an alien-infested Earth is being picked to the bone. Its resources depleted, its populace dwindling. As Freeman, you're thrust into the unenviable role of rescuing the world from the wrong you unleashed back at the Black Mesa Research Facility. Along the way, you'll be joined by members of the Resistance, human and a few non-human, survivors in a desperate battle against the totalitarian alien menace of the Combine. Okay. That's all it says. Now, I did some poking around Wikipedia and discovered that there's a website devoted to this game series. There, and apparently only there, we're told that the mystery guy, whom they call G-Man, put Freeman into stasis for 20 years after he accepted the job. Sure. And during that time, there was another alien invasion, and apparently without Freeman in his magic suit, this one was successful. So why didn't this dodo pull Freeman out of stasis sooner so he could stop this invasion too? For that matter, why did he put him in stasis in the first place? But more important, if the only place that talks about this whole thing is a website somewhere out there, how the hell am I supposed to know this? I came across it by accident a couple of months after I played the stupid game. According to some sources I read, this second invasion happened during the events of Opposing Force, the first add-on to the original Half-Life game, where you play as one of the soldiers sent in to deal with Black Mesa. But as we saw, there's nothing of the kind in either that one or the other add-on, Blue Shift, where you play as one of Black Mesa's security guards. So as far as I can tell, the only place we ever hear about Freeman's stasis and the second invasion is on that website. Nowhere in any of the games are we told any of this. I really can't come up with a way to describe how weird that is. And with all that, people love this series. Recently, on the GameSpot website, Gordon Freeman was voted the greatest hero of all time. What? He actually beat out Master Chief and Sam Fisher and anybody and everybody else? Unbelievable. We're supposed to believe that Freeman is everyman, the regular guy struggling against impossible odds to rescue the planet. Excuse me, everyman? The guy has a PhD in theoretical physics. He was working in a super secret, top classified facility working with unknown materials and has a specially made Superfly suit that helps protect him from all this crap. Everyman who? And don't tell me about the impossible odds and all that, because he's the one who caused it all. Greatest game hero? Give me a break. In a real world, he'd be locked up and tried for crimes against humanity. I still don't get it. And then he gets put into stasis for 20 years and is only brought out when things are hopeless. And this is what makes a great game series?
What's a stroke feel like?
Well, we're here now. May as well keep going.
Passing through on your way to parts unknown. Welcome to City 17. It's safe here.
Gee, this place looks just like 1,000 other post-apocalyptic game worlds. What a surprise. And check out the goons in the suits straight out of Fallout.
Rip off!
One of the goons takes you into a room which appears to be the plot exposition part 2 room.
About that beer I owed you. It's me, Gordon, Barney from Black Mesa. Hey, sorry for the scare. I had to put on a show for the cameras. I've been working undercover with civil protection. I can't take too long or they'll get suspicious. I'm way behind on my beating quota.
So, after he managed to escape the whole mess at the end of Blue Shift, this genius went right back into the middle of the next mess. Oh yeah, he's somebody I want to trust.
Yes, Barney, what is it? I'm in the middle of a critical test.
Sorry, Doc, but look who's here.
Great Scott! Gordon Freeman!
Didn't I kill this guy several times in the first game?
I expected more warning.
Yeah, you and me both, Doc. He was about to board the express to Nova Prospect.
Well, Barney, what do you intend?
I'm thinking.
Alex is around here somewhere. She would have a better idea how to get him here.
Oh, as long as he stays away from checkpoints, we should be okay. Listen, I gotta go, Doc. We're taking enough chances as it is.
Very well. And, Gordon, good to see you.
Okay, Gordon. You're gonna have to make your own way to Dr. Kleiner's lab. Oh, man, that's what I was afraid of. Before you blow my cover.
So you head out and make your way into a building where some people are hiding from the goons. But the goons catch up with you anyway.
Over here! Ha, no, you don't!
I can't see a thing. Okay, the world starts to clear up.
Dr. Freeman, I presume.
Who's the chick?
We'd better hurry. The Combine can be slow to wake, but once they're up, you don't want to get in their way. Dr. Kleiner said you'd be coming this way. I don't think it occurred to him that you might not have a map. I'm Alex Vance. My father worked with you back in Black Mesa. I'm sure you don't remember me, though.
So, she's Alex. That's Alex with a Y, by the way. You worked with her father, and at this point you're just supposed to assume you know who that is, even though you haven't been told a bloody thing yet. She takes you to the doctor's lab, where you meet Barney again, as well as this thing.
Get it off me! I thought you got rid of that pest.
Certainly not. Never fear, Gordon. She's debeaked and completely harmless. The worst she might do is attempt to couple with your head. Fruitlessly.
Get that thing away from me!
Here, my pet. Hop up. No, not up there!
This guy keeps one of those things as a pet. For the crime of chronic stupidity, you are hereby sentenced to execution by inducement of death. You get your HEV suit and charge it up, then you see the transporter that this guy's built. He starts it up and it fails. Why? Because that plug over there fell out. So it's up to the mighty Gordon Freeman to put it back in.
It might make more sense to have the six-sitting sheet slitter's son flick the plug if the sack pickers and the sock pluckers are behind the rubber baby buggy bumpers.
And throw the switch next to it.
And the monkey flips the switch.
So Alex goes through the transporter just fine, where she's reunited with her father.
Hey, Doc.
Thank goodness. My relief is almost palpable.
Fantastic work, Izzy.
Well, I can't take all the credit. Dr. Freeman proved an able assistant.
Let's go ahead and bring Gordon through now.
Right you are. Speak to you again in a few moments.
Now it's your turn, but something goes horribly wrong. Big shock.
Final sequence.
The hell?
What is it?
It's your pet, the freaking head hopper!
Lamar,
Look out!
there he is! Is Lamar with him?
Forget about that thing!
Definitely time to shoot the critter and its owner, but we don't have a gun yet.
What's going on, Jim? I'm not sure. It seems to be some kind of interference. Something is drawing him away.
What's the meaning of this? Who are you? How did you get in here?
I'm getting him out of there.
You can't just wade into the field. It will peel you apart.
Just lost Gordon. What's going on?
I wish I knew. I'm encountering unexpected interference.
Don't worry, Gordon.
There he is! Oh, we're losing it again.
The man I saw, I'm all but certain it was Gordon Freeman.
Then where is he?
Behind you. Shut it down. Shut it down.
You must get out of here.
Get down out of sight. I'll come find you.
You end up God knows where and have to start finding your way to... Where are we trying to go again? And here we go. No objectives, no goals, no map, nothing. You just wander around hoping you're going the right way. Things like doors and gates and passages make the game fairly linear, but we still have the stupid puzzles where we have to move boxes that don't obey our commands and all that. And we still have this stuff. Seriously? The game's been ported to a super-powered Plenty of memory system like the Xbox 360, released on the same disc as the absolutely incredible Portal game, which is made by the same company, and we're still doing this crap every few minutes? Can you say lazy? This port did nothing more than adapt the PC code to the controls of the 360. It didn't adjust to the 360's superior graphic capability, processor speed, ability to hold huge chunks of game code at a time, or anything else. This is the PC game written in a different language, and it sucks! If you're gonna port a game, port it. Don't just translate it. So we're gonna have to put up with these loading screens so often it'll make us want to scream. The enemies and most other NPCs are gonna all look alike, and all the rest of the nonsense we had in the first game. Like I said, lazy. And yet, people rave about this game even more than the first one. So far, I have to ask yet again, why? So we wander around some more. We still don't have a weapon, but the bad guys are shooting at us anyway. We get outside, and finally we get both a weapon and an objective.
Hey, Gordon! The Citadel's on full alert. I've never seen it lit up like that. Get out of City 17 as fast as you can, Gordon. Take the old canals, right? They'll get you to Eli's lab. It's a dangerous route, but there's a whole network of refugees, and they'll help you if they can. I'd come with you, but I gotta look after Dr. Kleiner. Oh, and before I forget, I think you dropped this back in Black Mesa. Good luck out there, buddy. You're gonna need it.
When we were in Black Mesa, we had a ton of different weapons, including ray guns that could disintegrate enemies, grenade launchers, even a crossbow with a zoom scope on it. And this is what he was able to rescue? Thanks, Barney. Really. So we go through some twists and turns, trying to avoid the Fallout guys shooting at us, and eventually have to kill a couple with the crowbar. That means we can pick up their pistols, so now we at least have something resembling an effective weapon. Along the way, we come to this.
Attention protection team. Status invasion in progress in this community.
Apparently, those are caches of goodies that you're supposed to find, and if you find all of them, you get an achievement. Hey, that's kind of cool. If you were watching closely, you saw that box say that I already have 23 of them. Even though I'm using a different profile, my achievement progress carried over from the previous playthrough. I've never fully understood how the Xbox 360 handles stuff like that, so again I say, just go with it. And see if you can find them all. Some are in fairly plain sight like this one, others not so much. It really is a fun little mini-game, and achievements give you bragging rights, which is always a good thing. Further on, we encounter a good example of one of this game's little how do I do this puzzles.
Protection team immediately. Attention. Unidentified person of interest. Confirm your civil status.
Hey, just go with it. Fight a bunch more bad guys, collect their ammo, and keep moving until you come upon one of those Rebel Underground guys Barney was talking about.
Good God. Guess those sirens are for you, huh? Good thing you found us. You're not the first to come through here by...
This is the Freeman. The Combine's reckoning has come.
Whoa, that's one of those things that was shooting electric bolts at us in the first game. Kill it!
Meanwhile, let my Vortigaunt friend here give you a jolt to get you going.
So now it's a good guy. How did that come about? We're never told. This thing is ugly enough that I was tempted to shoot it anyway, but I didn't. Keep going past this and you come upon a bunch of bad guys with a mounted machine gun. Once you take them out, you can use it. Now this is fun. One big improvement from the first game is that aiming reticle that you can see on the screen. The first game didn't have that for mounted weapons like this. You just had to watch the tracers and hope you were swinging the stupid thing in the right direction. This one allows you to aim, and it makes short work of the bad guys, as well as their little flying camera dingpods. I have no idea what those are, but you can take them out with this thing with the pistol, or if you can get close enough, your crowbar. And if you can destroy them, that means they're related to the bad guys. So down they go. Some of the paths so far are definitely convoluted, but unlike a lot of the stuff in the first game, they're believable. This one here is following a canal that's littered with destroyed railroad cars and other various junk, and finding a way through it is naturally going to take some doing. And every so often you have to go into a sewer pipe and follow that for a while. That's all standard fare for this type of game, so I can go with it. And I do have to admit that the graphics, especially the background textures and people's faces, are much improved. Then you encounter this. Oh boy, there's a bunch of those barnacle things and they're completely blocking the way. So I guess I'll try to sneak down there. Slippery sloping floor. Okay, this is a problem. And the first one grabs you. Time to shoot.
Local unrest struck.
Just so you know, these things are going to grab you. Just keep swinging the pistol up and keep shooting until you make yourself a path through them. But expect to be hauled toward the ceiling at least 3 or 4 times. It's freaky, but interesting. Make sure you have plenty of ammo before you enter this part, because you'll need it. The next hour or so is basic gameplay, dealing with bad guys, avoiding the barnacles, and figuring out where to go. A lot of it happens underwater, which is where we see that the controls are still a bit wonky. But in this section, you also acquire a submachine gun. I have to admit, it's a lot more effective in this game than it was in the first one. It also sounds much better. Oh yeah, I'm going to have some fun with this thing. Especially with that nice, huge aiming circle, which is a big improvement over the first game. But keep the pistol handy for things like barnacles, and keep the crowbar handy for things like goodie boxes. Oh yeah, that's another improvement. Boxes that actually have health and stuff in them have special markings so that you don't waste your time smashing empty ones.
You know what kind of toys I'd put in specially marked boxes?
Yes.
Anything heavy and pointy enough to do lasting damage to the face.
Anyway, you keep moving on and it's more basic gameplay. You figure out puzzles, look for hidden passages, and so on and so on and so on. All this so you can... What were we trying to do again?
Take the old canals, right? They'll get you to Eli's lab. It's a dangerous route, but there's a whole network of refugees, and they'll help you if they can.
Oh, right! Get to Eli's place. Wherever that is and whoever Eli is. That's one thing that's still lacking. A way to check your objectives. And that hasn't been fixed in any of the add-ons that have come out. Maybe in Half-Life 3, which has now been announced. In any case, back to our objective, which was... What was it again?
They'll get you to Eli's lab.
Eli's place, right. So, we head on. through more sewers, tunnels, patches of toxic waste, and you come to a guy who says he has an airboat for you. Well, that should be interesting. Where is it? Oh, wait, it's not here. It's at your next way station, over the river and through the woods, and you finally come to it.
You'd better get going now.
So driving an airboat should be fun, right? Not really. As so often happens in these games, the controls are horrible. It reminds me of the Jeep in Call of Duty 3. The slightest little turn sends you careening into a wall. You have to maneuver to make jumps just right. Every few minutes you have to get out to solve some puzzle. It's more of a bother than anything else. And of course there are bad guys all over the place. That I can handle. That's standard fare for a shooter game. But if I'm going to be dealing with bad guys a la first-person shooter, give me a vehicle that does what I tell it to do. And just to warn you, this airboat sequence goes on for freaking ever. It's way too long, way too full of padding, and for the most part it's just boring because you're spending all your time trying to figure out how to get the controls to work instead of actually dealing with the gameplay. There's lots of potential here, and it's all wasted. Such a shame. I'm only going to show a few examples. Here you have to figure out where you're going and how to get there. First you put these floating barrels under this thing to raise a ramp. The only indication you have is that your boat won't fit through the space on the left, and when you jump in the water here, there's one of those barrels floating around, and there's another one in that cage under the ramp thing. Where are the rest of the barrels? Go search for them because we're not going to tell you. After that, you have to get back in your airboat and make this jump using the ramp that you just raised. That means lining it up just right, getting the right speed, and hoping for the best. Another is this building. Around the corner is a big gate that you have to get open somehow. You find a way into the building, get past a bunch of bad guys, including a mounted machine gun, then you get out here and find that the control for the gate is busted. Here's how you open the gate. Shoot those exploding barrels to the right, which releases some big swinging doodad, and that smashes the gate open. Note to self, don't park the boats by the gate. There's one nice thing about this part. You spend more time fighting your way out than fighting your way in. And that means they've left a nice mounted machine gun for you to play with.
Well, finally, Irving got 3 slugs in the belly. It was right outside the Frontier Deli. He was sitting there twirling his gun around, and Butterfingers Irving gunned himself down. Irving. Big fat Irving. Big dum-dum Irving. Big dum-dum dead Irving. The 142nd fastest gun in the West.